The Bermuda Triangle, the graveyard of airplanes and ships on Earth. It's always been a hot topic for centuries, and people still can't explain why even the largest ships and airplanes, operated by experienced crews, captains, and pilots, mysteriously disappear when they pass through this area. The ocean is vast, so why is this place so special? How can we explain the eerie, terrifying oddities that occur here? There are many ways to seek answers. It could be through researching historical records, listening to testimonies from those who have witnessed strange occurrences, or even hearing from those who have returned after mysteriously disappearing. After centuries of speculation, new truths have finally emerged. But whether they are accurate or not, no one can say for sure. Welcome back to the latest video from Inventive Earth. Today, we'll embark on a memorable journey titled The Final Mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. But first, don't forget to take a moment to hit like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our most exciting new videos. Now, let's begin today's journey. The Bermuda Triangle is a vast area of sea located between Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. Over the past centuries, hundreds of ships and airplanes have disappeared in this region. What's even more intriguing is that even the largest ships or planes from the most elite air forces have vanished without a trace. And the mysteries surrounding these disappearances remain unsolved to this day. Many theories suggest the presence of a strange magnetic field, a time warp, or giant rogue waves that sink ships. Some even believe that these mysterious disappearances are the work of extraterrestrials. There are other places in the world where ships and planes go missing. So why is this particular area so heavily focused on? The mystery of the Bermuda Triangle was first brought to light by Christopher Columbus. Surprised, right? Columbus was the first European to set foot in the New World, and during his first journey, something unusual happened. According to Columbus' journal, on October 8, 1492, as he neared the Bermuda region, he noticed that the compass was no longer working normally. Though Columbus and his crew made it back safely to Spain, from that moment on, the Bermuda Triangle began to attract human attention. It was believed that all navigational devices, like compasses, stopped working in the Bermuda Triangle. The suspicions and fears surrounding the Bermuda Triangle really took off in 1950, following an article by Adnap. The article documented the number of ships and aircraft that had disappeared in the area, including 5 U.S. bombers lost in 1945, to commercial airliners that vanished in 1948 and 1949, along with many other ships. In total, over 130 people had disappeared in some of the most famous incidents, and, of course, the number continued to rise in the years that followed. So, what really happened here? There have been many disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle, large and small, so we can't cover them all in a video of limited length like this. But I'll try to bring you the most intriguing and mysterious information possible. Let's start with the disappearance of Flight 19, the most famous and mysterious event in the Bermuda Triangle, which occurred on October 5, 1945. On a beautiful day in the Florida Sea, a squadron of 5 U.S. Navy bombers took off for a routine training mission. Their name was Flight 19. There wouldn't be anything special about this if it weren't for the fact that this was supposed to be a normal training mission set to last 3 hours. According to the plan, Flight 19 would take off heading east. Once they reached a body of water known as Mother Hen and Chicks, they would perform torpedo exercises against submarines and then head north. Finally, they would turn southwest to return to their base in Lauderdale. What made this mission unusual, though, was that they would fly directly over the Bermuda Triangle. The man responsible for the training mission and also the leader of the flight was Charles Currow Taylor, a seasoned captain. He was a veteran with many years of experience, so mental toughness wasn't an issue for this seemingly straightforward mission. The squadron took off, heading east, skies clear, and everyone was ready. However, things started to go awry after about 2 hours in the air. Once they were quite far from base, the flight leader suddenly reported a strange situation. The compass on the aircraft malfunctioned and stopped working. Immediately, a backup compass was brought in, but strangely enough, the backup compass malfunctioned in the same way. Half an hour passed, and according to what was recorded by the Lauder Air Traffic Control, Telly believed that Flight 19 had somehow flown hundreds of miles off course in the Atlantic Ocean. He claimed to have seen the Bahamas beneath him. Normally, the U.S. Navy's navigational charts clearly stated that if pilots got lost over the Florida coast, all they had to do was head west toward the setting sun to reach the mainland, either in Florida or California. However, Taylor believed this squadron might have drifted into the waters of Mexico. So, he ordered the pilots to fly northeast. The radio operator at Lauder reported hearing Flash J. Gurler, the pilot of aircraft number Saint 81, asked Taylor, "Sir, are you sure? Why are we heading northeast?" Eventually, the pilots of Flight 19 managed to convince Taylor to turn west. But by 6 p.m., once again, Taylor changed his mind. "We are still over Florida Bay, so let's change direction to the east." Some pilots voiced their opinions, and at one point it even turned into an argument, but they ultimately complied with their commander's orders. The radio operator at Lauder reported that shortly after, the radio signals began to fade, indicating they had flown much farther off course. The last thing he heard Taylor say was, "Our fuel is running low. We'll have to make an emergency landing in the sea." And that was the last recorded communication from Flight 19 of the U.S. Air Force. No one knows where they went or what exactly happened to them. But one thing was for sure, the story didn't end there. The information about the disappearance of the 5 aircraft was quickly reported to the Florida Naval Command Center. A search and rescue operation was launched almost immediately. A seaplane, the Catalina, was dispatched to aid in the rescue, with a crew of 13 on board. But things took an even darker turn. This time, it took less than 2 hours, just 20 minutes after takeoff, and the rescue team disappeared off the radar. No distress signals were received. All efforts to establish contact were in vain. The only information came from the crew of the SS Dynam News, an oil tanker passing through the area, who reported seeing a fireball and a loud explosion in the sky, followed by a trail of oil slicks on the ocean's surface. While this was all quite vague, it wasn't completely out of the question. The Navy speculated that the Catalina's fuel tanks were mounted right next to the engines, and in the past, there had been incidents where planes exploded due to the intense heat from the engine causing the fuel to ignite. The next morning, another search mission was launched for both Flight 19 and the Catalina. This time, the operation was much larger, involving over 300 ships, boats, and aircraft, covering more than 500,000 square kilometers of ocean for more than 5 days. But it was all for nothing. One of the team members shared they were gone. Even the oil tanker's crew who reported the explosion had no evidence to back up their claim. We didn't find any bodies, no wreckage, not even a trace of oil slick. The seafloor had many suspicious objects, but none of them belonged to the fighter planes or the Catalina. They just seemed to have vanished into thin air. The theory that aliens abducted the planes was the first to be proposed. This makes sense, as back then, whenever something strange happened with no explanation, the idea of aliens was often brought up first. But in the Bermuda Triangle, no one really knows what's going on. A newspaper revealed that on the afternoon of October 5th, Lieutenant Commander Taylor, the leader of Flight 19, arrived at the airport 19 minutes late. As a result, he requested to be excused from flying, citing a violation of the flight schedule. The newspaper reported that perhaps due to a gut feeling, Taylor told the commanding officer, "I don't want to fly." So what really happened to the 14 pilots in the 5 planes of Flight 19 and the 13 crew members aboard the Catalina? After more than 3 months of investigation, the U.S. Navy tentatively concluded that Lieutenant Commander Taylor got lost due to a malfunctioning compass, which led the entire squadron off course. His sighting of small islands led him to mistakenly believe they were the Bahamas, prompting him to order the squadron to head northeast. While some other pilots realized their approximate location, a debate broke out over whether they should fly west instead. As for the Catalina, the U.S. Navy believed it exploded due to technical reasons just 20 minutes after takeoff. The wreckage was carried away by ocean currents heading north, causing it to disappear without a trace. As for the bodies, they were likely devoured by sharks, as the waters off the Florida coast are home to great white sharks. However, this explanation didn't satisfy the public. Stories about mysterious places where ships and planes disappear without explanation, like the Bermuda Triangle, quickly captured the public's attention. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle has persisted to this day. In 1991, a newspaper reported that a rescue ship named Disney had discovered a nearly intact plane from Flight 19 on the ocean floor, about 10 miles northeast of Lauderdale. However, the commander of the search later admitted that the plane didn't belong to Flight 19, as the wreckage did not match the aircraft's serial numbers. In addition to the disappearance I've covered, there are hundreds of other mysterious disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle that I didn't touch on in this video. If you're interested, be sure to like and comment, and I'll create more detailed videos about these strange vanishings. The Bermuda Triangle, with its strange disappearances of ships and airplanes, has captured the attention of many and sparked numerous explanations, ranging from supernatural theories to scientific ones. Some believe that ancient technologies from the lost civilization of Atlantis are influencing the area, turning it into a mysterious and anomalous region. Others suggest that UFOs or extraterrestrial beings are involved, possibly exploring and harvesting life on Earth, which they argue is why vehicles disappear without a trace. However, renowned Australian scientist Carl Ruselnicki has rejected these theories. He argues that the disappearances are not caused by aliens or ancient technologies, but are simply the result of human error combined with harsh weather conditions. According to him, there's nothing supernatural about the Bermuda Triangle. It's just a region with specific natural conditions that can cause accidents, making ships and airplanes disappear without leaving any evidence. One of the reasons people believe something unusual is happening in the Bermuda Triangle is the phenomenon of compasses malfunctioning. Some claim that the region has a unique magnetic field that interferes with navigational instruments. However, in reality, compass variations are a natural phenomenon known to occur in certain areas and not across the entire Bermuda Triangle. Additionally, many of the ships and aircraft that disappeared without a trace may have been swept away by the Gulf Stream, a powerful ocean current that can carry floating objects away, making them difficult to locate. The area is also prone to rogue waves, giant waves that can reach heights of up to 30 meters, which can pose a deadly threat to ships and aircraft. While mysterious theories persist, Carl Ruselnicki insists that we shouldn't get carried away by fantastical stories. He points out that many ships and planes have passed through the Bermuda Triangle without incident, suggesting that there's nothing strange or supernatural about the area. It's simply a part of the ocean with unique natural conditions that we haven't fully understood, combined with human error and bad weather. Carl has consistently affirmed this stance in 2017, 2022, and 2023. He emphasizes that, based on available statistics and evidence, the Bermuda Triangle is not a mystery, but rather a fabrication, a myth created from unsubstantiated stories and theories lacking scientific proof. So, what do you think about the Bermuda Triangle? Is it an unsolved mystery, or just an area with unique natural conditions we haven't fully understood yet? Share your thoughts in the comments below.